Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, The Spiritual Justice Show. I'm Goddess Quita. You can call me Quita, either one would do. I answer to both. Your angel numbers. Did I do angel numbers for the... Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, in the last reading, I had to redo this reading because... Oh no, I didn't do any angel numbers in the last reading. I had to refilm this video, you guys. So this is the one I picked up from the last reading. When somebody was stuck in this perfectionist energy, they had transformation in every other area of their life, and it's basically they felt a way about some kind of art they put out, or some kind of message, or something to do with their skills and something to do with their career. They felt like nobody liked it, or they felt like people hated it, and it was not the case. And you're about to be rewarded for the artwork that you put out. You're about to be rewarded because you did such an amazing job, and you're just being so critical of yourself. And I'm laughing because I used to do the same thing. I used to suffer from perfectionism, and that keeps you from appreciating the milestones that you made within your career, within yourself, within your, even if it's just a healing journey. We have to be more celebratory of our crafts and stuff that we have put out, because each milestone means something. You know what I mean? You could always create something or always do something, and it don't matter, because once you set that goal and you meet that goal, you're successful. Then you have to create a new one. So in between being successful, how about we just sit there and say, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of me, I'm proud of the progress I made. Because the Most High, oh yes, I did do angel numbers. The Most High is definitely proud of us. 717, 1010, was two of the angel numbers that came out the last reading that I'm redoing. Yeah, and it was just talking about how you guys had healed and was doing the healing work to transform your lives, but you're beating yourself up over something that you put out, over a project that you did, and you don't think you did. It's not that you don't think you did well. It's just more so you're worried about what other people think of your project, and they really love it, but you feel like they hate it because you haven't gotten any, I guess, likes or reviews or any appreciation, and you're about to be gifted either by the universe or by a company, a contract. You never know what the gift may be. And Spirit just wants you to just love yourself and love what you put out. As long as you put your heart so into your artwork, into this project that you did, then you should love yourself and love what you accomplished, because that is a beautiful thing, you guys. I guess I'm picking up on this energy because I just did a project, but I'm not in this perfectionist energy because I had to overcome that, and it's not easy to overcome. It's not even easy to recognize that you're a perfectionist. It wasn't for me. I didn't know I was a perfectionist. I had all these presets of what I wasn't going to do or what I wasn't going to be seen, and it's better for you to go ahead and embarrass yourself in front of people, or put out something that you thought was the worst, and because that's what I did, not knowingly that I did that, because I was in that perfectionist energy. It made me put out stuff that I said that I wasn't going to do, because I was so set on manifesting not doing something until I did it. You know what I'm saying? So I tricked myself into doing what I said I didn't want to do or wasn't gonna do. That's another thing. You just gotta let flow, let Spirit go. I go into this creative space too, and I be wanting people to like my stuff too. I think we all do. So I understand where you're coming from, but as long as you put your heart, soul, and mind into what you did, and people know you took your time and poured your heart and your emotions in it, and you love what you do, then 9 times out of 10 you're gonna attract the people that's meant to see it and meant to be uplifted by it. And that's all you can ask for. Anything else is a plus. You know what I'm saying? Even when it seems like nobody is watching you, they're still watching you. So just I learned not to expect anything when I put up my artwork, even these videos. I don't expect nothing in return. However, I do set the bar for myself, but I don't have no expectation, especially for other human beings, because they have to come around their own time, and you can't control anyone, and we can't just make somebody like us or like our artwork or like our vision, because that's not the way to go. Artwork is very abstract. Projects like that are very abstract, and that's why I had to learn too. My stuff, a lot of stuff that I put out, I know is before time. I know Spirit told me, like, I got videos. If you go back in my videos when I was in Georgia and when I was at this particular place in Georgia, and I told you, God told me I was suffering, but it was for information. It's going to take us. It's going to help us for 10 years out, 10 years plus. Some way I put it like that. If you go back in the video, into my videos and watching, you will see that I said that very thing. I already knew my higher ideals and concepts are different from everybody else. I know that I'm weird, and I embrace my weird quirkiness. At times it may seem like I'm struggling with it, but it's just my weirdness. It really is. People, a lot of times when I do struggle, people don't notice it, and when I'm not struggling, that's when people are like, oh, she's struggling, and I'm really not. It's just my weirdness. So a lot of videos I did, and it looked like I plotted it and I thought it out, and I didn't. I just went through it and did it. It was, as long as my energy was flowing, it was perfect. And when I'm not in flowing energy, and it's not perfect. It's not. And I go through a lot of warfare that causes a lot of malfunctions too. I don't say much about it, but I feel like that's how you feel, like somebody did something to you, or did something to your artwork, or did something to discredit you or something, and you're over analyzing, and that is not the case. You just put it out there, so you have to give time for people to catch up. People are working jobs and doing different stuff, and so their mindsets are everybody's mindset is in different places. So when they come and meet your artwork, they're coming from different point of views, and sometimes you have to sit with it, because sometimes I have to sit with my own stuff and be like, dang, did I just, you know what, I did that. I don't care if nobody don't like it. I like it, and I have to put on that mindset. And I go back and I astonish myself at times, and I be like patting myself on the back. From like 2-3 years ago, my self-talk dialogue has been very expansive, and it's more creative and more positive, and it's less negative. You know what I mean? I'm practical. I still know where I could have done better. I acknowledge that, but that's what makes my artwork so great, because it's not perfect. And I learned to live with that. It's okay. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. And I feel like the person I'm particularly talking to, you think that you suffering from perfectionism just like I was, and I laugh because we be in our heads so much about something, and then you as soon as you turn your head at the Most High, or someone says something, and you be like, oh yeah, and then as soon as you get somebody else's point of view, or the Most High show you another point of view, you be like, I did all that was a waste of, I could have been doing, and then you realize that you could have been just going on with your creative endeavors and creating other projects and things, and not focus on what people think, because whoever like it gonna like it anyways. And that's what I had to learn a lot in my self-growth journey, especially with you guys. Years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I would not talk on camera. I got one video on my Instagram that I talked on camera, and you do not see me talking on camera. I had a thing with my voice that I didn't like to hear my own voice, and then the Most High had to, because she knew where I was going. He knew what career path I was headed down. They put stuff in my journey where I had to face myself in that way, and I learned to fall in love with my voice. I learned to love to hear the sound of my own voice, and I'm just like, dang, like 2-3 years ago, I didn't like hearing the sound of my voice. I cringed at the sound of my voice, and I didn't know why, and I still don't know why to this day. But through my self-talk and my mantras and building my confidence up, a lot of those things helped me, and realize, like, this is just my voice. What do you mean you don't like your own voice? It's your voice. It's the one that makes you talk and make you be heard, make you be known. It's the one that you have throughout your whole life. What you mean you don't like your voice? It's like kind of ironic now, because I'm like, I couldn't think about not liking my own voice, but yet I used to not like to hear the sound of my own voice, and it was crazy. We go through these little things about ourselves. A lot of people don't like, their breasts, their face, their booties, their feet. We all don't like something about ourselves. So instead of changing it, I just learned to love it the way it is. And if I tell people this, a lot of people don't believe that. They wouldn't believe that I used to have that insecurity about myself, but I did. I used to be so insecure about hearing my own voice. I'm like, all cringe, and now it's just like, it's my voice. What do you mean you don't like your voice? I love my voice. So yeah, you guys, I went through a lot of things to help build me up to this point. This didn't happen overnight. As you can see, my channel, I've been started this channel back in 2018, maybe 17. I think it was 17 or 18. I'm not really sure, but it was years ago, and it took me a while to even build up the courage to start posting videos, to start posting things on my channel. And after a while, I was just like, I gotta get this out. God's people need to hear this. And I just began to just read my mantras and really hone in on loving my own voice, hone in and creating my own original projects. I'm not one person. I'm not saying, I'm not looking down on anybody that does that, just recreate videos, but I'm an originator. It irks me if I have to recreate something. Now, if I'm inspired by something that's different, but just to recreate something or do something somewhat the way someone else is doing it, like, it irks me. Like, I'm like, that irks me. And then for me to, because it was a lot of spiritual work done, so I can look like I'm copying somebody, but I really wasn't. It was people in my energy, playing in my energy field, and it's so freeing to be able to tell my story at this point with you guys, because people play behind the scenes because they know you're destined for greatness, and they'll play behind the scenes with magic and spell work and with all kind of word witchery just to mess with what you got going on with your future, instead of worry about themselves and how their talents can be added to the world within their greatness. They just hone in on yours, and it's really sad, but some people do that, but I think that's what you're thinking about in your case, and that's not really what's happening in your case. You just got to give people time to catch up with what you're doing, because a lot of times the chosen ones are ahead of their time. Like, they call me crazy. They think I'm outside of my mind, and then when I explain it to them and they actually go through the process of what I went through, or the Most High give them just a taste of what I went through, they're like, oh, okay. Like, I get so like, hey, yeah, that's right. I never think about it that way, and that's a part of my uniqueness, because you're not supposed to think about it my way. I am supposed to think about it my way, and then I share my work, my creativity with you guys, and then you learn to love it, because it's a part of me that I'm sharing, a part of my soul I'm sharing with you, and we all have a uniqueness that we can bring to the world in different areas. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut that short. I don't want to make this video too long, but perfectionism can kill your creativeness. So just work on that. Some self-confidence mantras. You see how I'm like studying? So I usually don't do this, but it's a subject that I'm so familiar about. I'm so like gassed up about it. Or how can I say? I'm so excited about explaining and sharing it. Like, it's making me really stutter. So, cause it's like this person is like almost like me. It's like a little it's like your own someone that's like a version of me in this area, because I went through it to the T like this, and I used to be so in my head, oh, they don't like you, they picking at me, oh, they this, and it wasn't even about them. It was about myself being overcritical of me and my own creativeness. So once I learned to overcome my own constructive criticism, I can take anyone else's. Because Capricorn sons tend to be harder on themselves than anybody, especially with their work. My sun sign is in Capricorn, so I'm very creative. But I got Pisces and and fire throughout my chart. My work house is in Pisces, but the rest of my chart is like my feelings and emotions is a Taurus, so it's very stable and sensual. And my sun sign is Capricorn, so I'm very grounded energy. But the rest of my chart, oh my gosh, it's like it's in Aries and Scorpio and Pisces. So that's why. And then my rising sign is in Pisces, and so I come off very emotional but in a stable way, and people wonder why, but my chart tells you why. So you guys, yeah, just stay encouraged, work on your perfectionism, and love on yourself. Don't be self-critical all the time. Give yourself space to to expand, because when you're so critical, you don't give yourself a chance to expand, to see where you're growing to. If I said that right, growing to. Yeah, I said that right. So peace, you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful day.